The Walking Dead is a TV show which I used to watch and love. Me and my friends used to get together when the mid-season finale or the season finale or premiere would come out, and we would watch, have Doritos, have some Pepsi, and we would enjoy watching the new episodes of The Walking Dead. But lately, times have changed. Walking Dead has always been a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. I've never thought it's a great show, but I've kind of just enjoyed it and enjoyed the unpredictability of it. But things really have taken a turn for the worst, especially in its latest season. There have been times lately where I have turned on the newest episode of The Walking Dead, gotten about 30 seconds into this episode, and straight up said, I don't want to watch this, it is boring, it is filler, it is unneeded, and a waste of my time. But of course, because I'm an idiot, I ended up finishing watching the episode, and now I finished watching Season 7, Part 1. And throughout this run of 8 episodes, there are some big things that I've noticed that are wrong with the show. And here is me explaining to you guys what these problems are. Again, this is my opinion. If you like the show, then you like the show. That's fine. If you don't like the show, then let me know what you think is wrong with the show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
So just a quick note before you start the video. This does contain spoilers from the Walking Dead TV series from seasons 1 to 7. I'd also like to state this video is a bit of an experiment. So it's not perfect, it's far from great, but it was an experiment for me, and hopefully in the future I can make better versions of it. To me, there are 4 main problems with the show. One of them is how repetitive it is. I'm not even going to get into that because it's so obvious. The other 3 problems are pacing, characters, and the fact that it's on a network. But today I'm going to start off with pacing. The Walking Dead constantly builds up, it creates a lot of tension, and then it pauses for some reason before it pays off. This then results in the tension dropping, and then eventually they do a payoff by constantly killing off a character which we don't really feel attached to. These deaths are also very predictable, but more on that later. So I hope that way you can see why the pacing is a problem. It builds up, and it doesn't pay off. It just kind of returns to a boring bit of chit-chatter between characters. Which brings me on to my next problem with the show. The characters. The majority of the characters from season 4 onwards, with exception to a few, are pretty boring. They're developed badly and are just boring to watch on screen. To me, a good character in any TV show, movie, book, comic book, any form of media, a good character must have at least these 2 things. These 2 things are an objective and a journey. Most of the characters which have been on The Walking Dead from the start have a really good journeys and objectives. For example, Rick. Rick's objective was to find his family and protect them. His journey has been from being someone who considers each kill to someone who is a murderer. You then get characters like Michonne, whose objective is literally just to survive, and as basic as that may sound, it suits her character perfectly. She also goes on a journey from not trusting anyone to actually letting people in her life, people like Rick and Carl, people she actually begins to care about. But then we have characters like Rosita and Jesus, whose characters have not evolved since they've been on the show, and their only objective is to kill Negan, which is the objective of just about every single character in the show, so there is nothing special there. Gabriel, however, has had a very small yet predictable journey. He's gone from being weak and religious to being someone who uses religion as a stimulus for power and gives him something to work for and live for. Whilst this is a good journey, he lacks any form of an objective. At times, he wishes to kill Negan, which is very inconsistent with his character, whereas at other times he likes to just talk things out with Negan, which is very inconsistent with his journey and his objective? I don't even know if he has a proper objective. I don't know if the writers have thought that far in the past 3 seasons that he's been on the show. Bottom line is Walking Dead, fix your characters, give them an objective and a journey, and that way they can be much more interesting and can have a much more powerful and memorable impact on the audience. And my third problem with the show, it's a network show that earns a lot of money. So whenever The Walking Dead gives you a cliffhanger and it cuts to an ad break, you see a bunch of advertisers who pay the company AMC to have their products and their advertisements shown within the show. The advertisers then also put restrictions on the network as to what they can actually show, which is something I don't have to worry about. I can upload things onto YouTube, I can do whatever I want, because I am my own company. For example, in the season 7 mid-season finale, you see a character from The Saviors called Fat Joey get beaten to death by Daryl. Now this death scene was cut up quite differently, and to me, I noticed it. It felt quite choppy. And the reason so is because AMC got a lot of complaints from the season premiere when, they killed a bunch of people. So they decided to take out these scenes, and it resulted in a very, very choppy scene. AMC then wants more money through things like Fear the Walking Dead, Talking Dead, and through extending episodes of The Walking Dead so they can put more adverts in them. This then results in a lot of repeated and boring plot points episodes that last far longer than they should, plot lines that last far longer than they should, because AMC wants this show to last forever so they can make a shit ton of money from it. Now the fact that the show is networked also made the Negan kills very obvious. Check this out. So they wouldn't kill Karloff because he's a kid. They wouldn't kill Aronoff because he's gay, and that's a popular topic in today's society. They wouldn't kill Sasha and Michonne because they're dark-skinned women, and again, racism is a popular thing in today's society. They obviously wouldn't kill off Rick because he's a main character. They wouldn't kill off Maggie because she's a pregnant woman. Eugene and Rosita are both too underdeveloped, so the fans would not be happy if they were to die. Daryl was shot in the episode before, and so you weren't sure whether he had died or not. If they were to reuse that exact plot point in the episode after, I think a lot of fans would be unhappy. So this leaves only Glenn and Abraham. I hope you can see the amount of restrictions that AMC actually has on The Walking Dead, making it a very predictable show. So AMC, Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, Scott Gimple. I know you're probably not going to see this video, but if you do, follow those 4 things, and then maybe then you can make a decent show. The Walking Dead started off good, these problems weren't as big of a deal, and that's mainly because when the show first started, it didn't earn as much money as it does today. So therefore less people watched it, and there were less restrictions of what the show could do. Thank you for watching me rant about The Walking Dead. It's something that's been building up within me for the past 8 weeks. So yeah, now that I've got that out of my system, why don't you check out this hot little video of my girlfriend growing in a cup.